So there's been much hype surrounding the Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie, and in this video I'm going to cover 10 predictions I have for this movie. Now, number one is that Quentin Tarantino is going to include a number of old friends, and the reason is that this will be his final movie, so actors like Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman and Tim Roth may appear in this movie because it's the career sender for Quentin Tarantino. Some of these people are his genuine friends who attend his birthday parties and also his wedding, so Quentin Tarantino may be tempted to include some of these people in the Star Trek movie. And number two is that Quentin Tarantino may want to include some of the classic elements of Star Trek that he watched as a child, and those will include the monsters. Now this would be very different and something very unique for Quentin Tarantino because he doesn't typically include any sort of science fiction element, but as Star Trek is a science fiction movie, Quentin Tarantino will want to ensure that he portrays it as a science fiction and goes back to the roots of Star Trek. Now number three will of course be feet, because Quentin Tarantino includes women's feet in each of his movies, so Star Trek will feature feet at some point throughout the movie. Number four will be William Shatner, and that is because Quentin Tarantino has spoken fondly of William Shatner and claims that William Shatner is the person who got Quentin Tarantino interested in Star Trek, and William Shatner said that he would be very interested in working with Quentin Tarantino. So William Shatner says, Quentin Tarantino said something in the paper that somebody said to me that he loved me, and Quentin, I love you. If you're going to do Star Trek, hey, 50 years later, a few pounds heavier, come on, not a problem. So this shows that both Quentin Tarantino and William Shatner are both fans of each other, and that could be quite exciting to see William Shatner reprise his role within Star Trek. Now number five is to make this movie a two-parter. So Kill Bill was made into Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 because they had so much footage and story, and I think the producers of Star Trek would be very keen to do this also, and the reason is that it just makes more money. A two-parter can make double the revenue. So why would a business want to make $500 million at the box office when they can make $1 billion? And I believe there's so much content and material for a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie that there'll be the temptation to make 2 volumes of it. And for me, that would be perfectly fine, and I can really see that happen. Now number 6 is culture. Quentin Tarantino has an encyclopedic knowledge of culture. For example, Hullabaloo, that featured in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was a real-life TV show from the 1960s, and Quentin Tarantino will want to inject some form of culture into Star Trek and make it relevant and topical for today's society. Now another one will be the use of old-school weapons. So Quentin Tarantino is very notorious for using weapons in his movies. And yes, he will have photons and lasers, but will also look to use weapons such as swords and traditional guns. And that is very typical of all Quentin Tarantino movies. Now number 8 is blood. Now this movie has already been confirmed that it will be an R-rated movie, and Quentin Tarantino will look to balance out between telling the story in the terms of a science fiction, but also introducing his fondness and love of violence in cinema. So there'll be a lot of blood, but Quentin Tarantino may want to rein it back because he wants to portray it as a genuine and classic science fiction movie. Now number 9 is trunk shots. These are classic for Quentin Tarantino. So the classic shots that he uses in almost all of his movies will be found in the Star Trek movie, and he'll want to put his trademark stamp on this movie, just like he does with all his movies. So Quentin Tarantino will want people to know that this is a Quentin Tarantino movie. This isn't a Star Trek movie by any other director. This is a movie made by him. And finally, number 10 is classic cinematography. Quentin Tarantino is always looking to create beautiful, outstanding cinematography that resonates for many years to come. So again, Quentin Tarantino will want to create not only an interesting story and a vibrant science fiction entertainment movie, but also to have classic cinematography. But there is one sting in the tail to this, and that is that if Quentin Tarantino doesn't make this movie, it could actually kill off Star Trek in the cinema. Because if the producers of Star Trek go ahead and make a Star Trek movie without Quentin Tarantino, it will disappoint many fans, and many fans won't turn out to watch a Star Trek movie without Quentin Tarantino. So it could really crash at the box office if they make a movie without Quentin Tarantino. So there could be a sting in the tail for Star Trek producers if they don't use Quentin Tarantino. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any predictions yourself, list them in the comments below. Any questions, any comments, again, please leave them in the comments, and also like and subscribe. Now if you're interested in finding out how you can be paid to watch movies, I'll put a link to this guide in the comments below, and it explains how you can be paid to watch and review movies, and also how you can be paid to be a cinema secret shopper. And it's where you're paid to go to the cinema to review movies and to review the quality of the cinema experience. So if you're interested in this, I'll put a link in the description below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below also, and I'll get back to you straight away. So if you like this video, please also like and subscribe.